use of begin and end, and how we can use early exit pattern. Let me quickly go to Visual Studio Code and show you what is the best practices and how we can avoid unnecessary use of begin and end in our coding, and how we can implement early exit pattern in our code so that it will improve our performance and code readability with an example. Let's begin our example. I would say that it's unnecessary use of begin and end with a repeat until loop, because a repeat until loop itself is capable of handling multiple statements within them. So we don't require begin and end with this statement. So instead of that, we can just put fine set, then repeat until. It can handle multiple statements between them. Next, the mistake of using begin and end is using it with if statement. Whenever if statement starts, the coders mostly has a tendency to add a begin and end at the start. We don't require any begin and end if we are using single statement after if statement. If you are using a if statement and then you are validating any function or a block of code, if it is a multiple block of code, only then you should use the begin and end. Mostly the developers has a tendency to write after the if statement begin and end, then they start writing the statements inside the block. But if it is a single statement, try to avoid using begin and end so that it would look clear. If it is a multiple if, yes, for this you can use the begin and end so that you would have some other logic to follow up with the statement. This is something exceptional case where you can use a if begin and else with the if. I have taken a small example code from LS core functions to explain the early exit concept. Early exit concept is extensively being used in LS Central, base code, and everywhere. It can be applied everywhere. Like the name suggests, early exit itself means that exiting from the function whenever a decision can be made up. So let me show you in the line 85. As you can see in this statement, if info code l.get returns false, there is nothing to do in this function. It just returns back. So instead of writing like this, we can just invert this statement and exit from the function so that it would be easy to read that which are conditions can be used to exit from the function so that we can take up the decision fast. So let me show you an example. I have applied the got clause, like inverted the info code.get over here, added the exit pattern so that I would just exit if it is not able to find info code. You can keep repeating this pattern so that it can achieve a very fast response from the function. Like I have applied multiple times. So it improves the readability and easily can be tested. So improves the testability and performance and reduces the complexity when you are upgrading this function.